are not generic. Generic in the sense that what you have in a particular community will not be the same. The same problems you have in a community will not be the same as what you have in another community. All right. And so you have to look at it specific to the or relevant to the particular community and solve them. I believe that if we are going to wait to solve every single problem before we introduce a policy, we will never make progress. We would never make progress because it's a human institution where they're always going to be challenged. You introduce something, the thing would actually also bring another problem, and then we'll solve it, and that is governance. Do you see? And so we cannot say that let's finish everything. I mean, we're talking about the approval of a curriculum, all right? Now, you see that in the speech of the vice president, there are no timelines. Do you see? There are no timelines. He said that the education, so the Ministry of Education, under the guidance of the government, is making preparations to introduce, right, laptops as replacements for textbooks in senior high schools nationwide. That's the statement. It doesn't mean that what needs to be done, because I think that the way the discussion is going is like, what needs to be done will not be done. It will freeze, we will stop it, and then we will go into doing this. But it's a replacement issue, and it's making preparations. So at least, can we give him the latitude of time?
The benefit of the doubt.
No, not the benefit of the doubt, but the latitude of time to say that and to see what preparations are being made. Okay. And how sound are they? Rather than the moment he said it, we throw our hands in the air and say, hey, it's embarrassing us. It is not it's not proper. In 2013, someone tried to introduce and it didn't work, and the issues are still there, and therefore it will not work. I think in doing that, we are not being forward-looking. Right.
How do you respond to this? That being all negative, you look at the present-day situations, we should look at the positive side of the policy.
Well, first and foremost, Prof. Mills died in 2012, so he could not be appointing Honorable Yokran. So I think that we need to get these facts very clearly. Prof,
no.
Hold on. You said that when you check.
Look at.
No. Can I? You said that when you check in 2013, and that Prof. Mills was the one who appointed, and I'm saying that Prof. Mills died in 2012. Prof. Mills didn't die in 2013. So that cannot be accurate.
I didn't say Prof. Mills died in 2013.
No, I am saying that you said Prof. Mills, you said he was appointed in 2013.
No.
Oh,
I said he was a minister up to 2013. These are the records.
No, but
2012.
I'm not talking about what you have. I'm talking about what you said.
No, you heard it wrong.
No, and I will urge that they get you the video when you get
said,
it.
No,
you owe me.
He was.
So if he should admit, he should admit that it was a slip. But when he wants to deny, I will urge that he gets the video and apologize to me on this program. I will make the video available to you. Can I?
This is me. I am saying that up to 2013 he was a minister. He was appointed by
we come
Professor
back.
Mills.
We come back to the statement, the proverb I used earlier, the Dagbani proverb. It is the mouth that is not truthful, but the heart knows the truth.
Oh, you see, on air.
No, it's a proverb.
You are not saying I'm not a truthful.
It's a proverb I used earlier.
This is the very first I'm meeting you on.
No, I'm saying that it's a proverb I used. Hold on. It's a proverb I used earlier. If you tell me, we all do slip. If you tell me that, okay, if that was what I said, then that was not what I meant.
Because that's not what I said.
Oh, really? That's fine. I think that the viewing public knows what you said. And again, now, the argument he made about he taught northern students and students from the north, this argument, and I've listened to this time and again, we use the north as example because we are northerners. The challenges confronting students, and for which reason myself and Bernard Mona all reiterated, it is not limited to the north. Even in Greater Accra, you have certain communities in Greater Accra where students go through those challenges. And I've listened to this time and again. That, northern students, we've taught them the challenges they face. No, we are talking about challenges confronting us. When you want to give example, your constituency is where you understand better, or where you live is where you understand better than any other place. So you would use that as an example. what we are talking about is not only limited to the north, across the country. There are several places. In fact, check certain communities in Greater Accra. You'll be shocked that people do not even have lights.
But Mutala, he's saying that we don't have to look at the challenges of the minority or the vulnerable only to backlash a policy.
I made that statement, not only limiting it to the statement he made, but I've said that I have listened to such time and again. And I'm saying that I can only, if I sit here and I want to give examples of schools, that's why I use the Tamale Central. I use a constituency school in my constituency because that is where I understand better. And I'm saying that the challenges that we are talking about are not only limited to a particular region or particular group of people, it's across the country. But again, I am surprised that he's reducing it to time, and he's saying that we should give the vice president the latitude of time. It is not just about that. We are talking about challenges facing our education institutions. And Roland, I am a trained teacher, and I've had the opportunity to have taught at all levels of education, from basic, primary, JHS, secondary, and even at the university. What we are talking about is that when the basics, the foundation is not good, the top cannot be good. It's simple logic. Now, take your children.
Why?
Take your children to the best.
The vice president is asking why. Why not?
I'm saying that take your children to the best schools in Ghana at the basic level. When they go through that, you can send them to any Saito school, they'll be good. Now, if you listen to our friend, he says that.
Oh, Kofi Asare.
He says that at the basic schools, they don't have the textbooks. And the inability of the textbooks to be provided by government is not because that we don't have curricula. It's because there is no money. So why would you have textbooks at the secondary schools, yet you are spending millions of dollars to provide laptops when the basic schools, they do not have textbooks? That is the argument. That is the gravitas of the argument we are making. That yes, it would have been good, but look at the basics. It's just like me saying that, okay, I want to go to school, and then I decided that I'm not going to primary school, I'm not going to JHS, I'm going to the university. How are you going to survive? The challenges,
the same.
The challenges confronting our education must not be limited to just secondary schools and universities. When the basics are not good, when the foundation is not good, the top certainly can't be good. And I'm saying that all the issues that have been raised are anchored on the fact that we do not have textbooks. And the reason why we do not have textbooks is because government doesn't have money. Because if government had money, government would have provided the textbooks. The curricula are available. You need money to print those textbooks. Government is unable to print them because they don't have money. Yet that government sees the needs to spend millions of dollars to provide laptops for a section of the education where already they have books available. It simply doesn't make sense to me. So it is not just about we trying to find negative or to challenge the policy statement that is made by the vice president. The vice president is not doing that with his money. The vice president is going to implement that policy with our money, with our taxes.
Who told you we don't have money?
Oh, well, if you had money, we would have provided the basic. Oh, then is it wickedness? Is it wickedness that the government is unwilling?
I thought you used this opportunity to laugh.
No, I won't laugh. I won't laugh. There isn't one. No, these are serious matters.
I know.
No,
you see, no.
In fact, I am so concerned because I'm a teacher. And I know the challenges teachers go through. I know the challenges teachers go through. Now, if you are telling me that who told you we do not have, then that is wickedness.
Because you are here saying that there's no money.
Then that is wickedness. If we have the money, the government doesn't see the need to procure the textbooks for the students at the basic level. Look, my children attend private schools. Perhaps your children attend private schools. It would be greedy on my part to think that because by Allah's will, I can afford to pay for private schools where my children attend. How about families who cannot afford? They are in government public schools. Those public schools, they don't have the textbooks. Yet the state sees the need to spend millions of dollars to provide books for another sector who doesn't make sense. And I'll ask my brother a very simple question. I have 4 kids, okay? I don't know the number of kids you have.
Before you learn, is it rhetorical or because
Oh, no.
I think he's the one asking
Oh,
questions?
no. Oh, but can't we also ask questions? In fact, he claimed to be the because I'm asking my big brother a question. If you have 3 kids,
Yeah.
and then 2 is in secondary school, there's another one who is at JHS. The one who is in secondary school, certainly he would have passed his exam before going to. And maybe you paid for classes, extra classes, or provided textbooks for him to go to secondary school. This one is in GHS. He's also he's about writing. He desperately needs the classes. He desperately needs the textbooks to get to where this person is. Maybe he's in SHS1. And you have the money, and you think that, no, I won't spend it on you. Let me spend it on the person who's at GHS1 and leave the child who is at SHS1 and leave the child who desperately needs the assistance. So it won't make sense. I shudder to think that you would want to spend at least part of the money to ensure that the one at GHS attend classes and is able to come to speed with the one who is going. That is the argument we are making. We are not saying that that wouldn't have been good. In any case, the examples we are looking at in the most advanced countries, they still have textbooks. In the second-year colleges, they still have textbooks. And there is a psychological reason why textbooks even matter. I'll give an example. You know, libraries, when you have your own book, you hardly use the book than when you borrow the book. If I borrow a book from you...
That's an African thing.
No. It's
because the world is moving.
No, it's not an African thinking. If I borrow a book from you...
You know Chat GPT, the AI...
It's not an African thinking. If you want to tell us that we should think beyond Africa, that is why this
argument... Is that not what we should be doing?
That is why this argument of LGBTQ must be pushed.
Please.
No, but it's a fact. That is the reason...
We're talking education.
You said thinking. What has thinking got to do with African?
Continue that.
I'm saying that argument of LGBTQ, that we say, oh, the world is so advanced. No, other countries are accepting it. The most advanced countries are accepting it. We must accept it. It's not everything that we must accept hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, okay.
The challenges confronting us are not the same. Look, good as that policy may be, we all admit that we have challenges. And to be very honest, those experts in the area of education are better positioned than myself and you, than many, including the vice president. They are raising concerns that we don't have books. As human government has said, we are going to ensure that all the basic schools, the books are provided. And having done that, we would move a step further to provide the tablets for secondary schools. The vice president is left with less than 2 years to be booted out of office. So why would he be making these statements and you tell us time?
Mutala, let me move to Bernard. Bernard, there's a critical issue that that has been raised. So, for example, I have Awudu saying that all the problems have all problems at basic level being solved, because we know that the presidential candidate of the NDC says there will also be provision of free laptops. Actually, in the last election, we did have in the manifesto of the NDC that there will be laptops that will be provided. Provide students and teachers with free tablets loaded with relevant content to facilitate teaching and learning. And this was in page 31. And Clement Apak, Deputy Rankin, is sending us this. So if this is in tandem with the policy initiatives of both sides of the political divide, why? Why is it wrong?
When I told you that this has to do with what has become known in Ghanaian parlance as coefficient seeking.
Coefficient what?
Coefficient seeking, where people award contracts with the aim that a certain cut of the contract comes back to them for their personal good. You would have thought that I was making it out of my own. But it is obvious, after listening to Angel Kabono and listening to Council Boedu, that I was not wrong in that pronouncement. Angel Kabono says that we have not even accepted a curriculum, and the curriculum is unavailable. So when you are thinking about procuring laptops that will be fed with books, content, which content are you going to feed the laptops with? Because you have not developed the curriculum that has been approved or acceptable. This is Angel Kabono. I'm not the one. That is the president of the National Association of Graduate Teachers. And so that means that the vice president did not even have the opportunity of engaging with the stakeholders before making these pronouncements.
You can't say that.
Why?
He's the vice president of Iraq. Can he not make engagement with that? He has a minister who has oversight responsibility for that.
Angel Kabono lied?
No, he didn't lie.
And so?
One of them should have. One of them
so,
who did?
And there will not be any reason for which Angel Kabunu will lie.
Yeah, sure. I agree with that. Actually, it's not it's not only Nagra that have been raising concerns. We even have Kofi Asare raising this.
One of them.
So obviously, you cannot come and make the pronouncement. And when I listen to Gwedu read excerpts of the Vice President's statement, it even made me more wheezy.
Oh, how?
He says, the Vice President says that the introduction of this is going to replace textbooks. I thought that the statement would be to complement. But to replace textbooks.
But he also said it's a phasing out.
He said to replace.
Whether phasing out or replacing.
We are doing replacement. The Vice President is no mean person. To think about a situation where we're talking about complementarity as replacement, it's a very devastating thing to listen. Because even those that we claim they are at the pinnacle of their education and ICT, they have not replaced, they have complemented. So when you took the Vice President's speech and you read and you said that it's going to replace, I just sat back and said, no. We're getting everything wrong. We're getting everything wrong. Look, content has not been properly developed. So if you are going to procure laptops, which content are you going to feed them? The content of old is like the Ministry of Education deciding that you are going to buy past papers for students. When you have changed the curriculum. So it means that it is not going to be the old type of questions. It's going to be new type of questions. You still spend money to go and buy old past papers to come and give to students who are learning new content. It's the same way the Vice President is going about this. And I feel very scandalized that, look, we're not taking our time to do things that will be of benefit to the majority of us. Finally, Council, let me assure you that when I use the North as my reference point, it's because that is my home. Northerners don't come second to any group of people. When we have the opportunity, we excel or move above. And I'm sure that the students in your class are testimony to that fact. The only thing we are seeing that by some design, governments over time have decided, like the colonialists did, to deny the North its rightful place in terms of development and catch-up. You don't know that education started in the South for more than 100 years before it reluctantly got to the North? Is that not a deliberate policy? And by the same vein, things that are given to Southern educational institutions, you see that they are not of the same quality that are given to Northern educational institutions. And I'm saying that it is that colonial mentality. And I feel very sad about it. Let's find a way so that we can attempt. When students are struggling to get food to eat, when teachers are struggling to get markers or chalk to go and write on the blackboard, it is not a good time to be telling those same teachers that we are coming to give them laptops. Particularly so when you have even deducted monies from teachers, in the hope that you give them laptops and those laptops have not been fully supplied. Don't you think that is annoying to come and be telling the same people that you are going to give people's laptops fed with contents that they should be teaching?
All right. We want to wrap up with a conversation on you wait. Let me ask my question. You make your initial reactions,
yes,
and then we talk about North, and the question we're posing this morning, and we just have 10 minutes for this. So the question is it possible that he will be able to stand? That is the MP who now is no more the MP. That is Jeji Kwesen. But you respond to him first.
Yes, I think for this I need to come back on that. When I talk about students from the northern sector, it is in good faith. In fact, everything I said is on the positive note.
No, we have been honest.
No, the way you've reacted, it sounded that. But response is a reaction. Now, it looks like because we are not from North, we can't even also use that part an example. We are brothers. We are brothers. Please. We are brothers. And
No, but
we
honestly,
are
no,
really,
no, but
oh,
no,
please,
we
no,
never-
let
let's
me, no,
make his
it
point.
sounded that way.
We only have
Sorry,
10 minutes.
sorry,
Rama,
sorry if it
please.
sounded
It
that
sounded that
please,
way.
let-
And as I said, my best students.
Sorry if it sounded that way.
You see, so please, let's not do that. And again, it is the fact that it says that the initiative follows the launch of the One Teacher, One Laptop. And so it is just a link of the lecturer being able to transpose or transpose what he has to teach to the student. I go to my lectures, I have notes on my phone, I just send it to them on WhatsApp. We go ahead rather than, still using the blackboard. And I think it is being positive and forward looking. That's the point. The issue of
Just a question.
education, whether
Asin North.
Asin North.